মধ্যে চুইংগাম হয়ে আটকে আছে 14 বছর বয়স, করতলে কৈশোর, গুরুবে গলে পড়ছে চাঁদের মোম, যোগফল শূন্য, স্বপ্নের সঙ্গে স্বপ্নের যোগফল শূন্য।
We know her. We do not know her. We read her work, but we cannot read her. Although we try. We know a few things about her.
With Nabanita, it was very interesting to see her grow into a creative person. We shared a lot of our happiness and pain together. She went through a lot of pain at several stages, but I must say what I've never failed to register is her tremendous resilience as a human being. Her sense of humor never left her. Even in her worst moments of suffering, she would have some way of making a joke out of it.
She had been a brilliant student, standing first in the postgraduate class at Jadavpur University, then excelling during her master's study at Harvard, completing an innovative PhD from Indiana University, becoming a fellow at Berkeley. But these were facts, lacking the resonances of ambiguity and sensitivity so central to the work of Nabanita Debshen.
The night of the rape. Man, in the twilight I could still hear the lark. Woman, the night was moonless, oppressively dark. Man, in the flowering woods a night fairy walked. Woman, in the Sundarbans the man-eater stalked. Man, in that fragrant springtime air, woman, blood-drenched remains lay there.
We find later that Nabanita Dee can never be happy with what she writes, writing, rewriting, and writing again, giving sleepless nights to publishers and editors, much like Tagore, who would revise his plays even on the days of the final show. Incidentally, the name Nabanita was selected by Tagore himself, but Nabanita Dee, as a child, was not entirely satisfied with her name. She preferred the names of rivers, or flowers, or stars. Her mentors were her parents, who were poets. Sensitive souls in whose writing there existed a gentle coalescing of the classical and the avant-garde. Her home, Bhalobasha, still reeks of a literary incense, replete with the tones and voices of Bibhuti Bhushan, Tara Shankar, Manik, Buddhadev, Asha Purna, and many, many others.
আমি কান পেতে রই, আমি কান পেতে রই, ও আমার আপন মন হৃদয়ে গহন দ্বারে বারে বারে কান পেতে রই কোন গোপন বাঁশির কান্না হাসির গোপন বাঁশির কান্না হাসির গোপন কথা শুনি বারে 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 কান পেতে রই
The dulcet tones of Pankaj Mollik, the sparkle of Shudindranath, the Francophile, the eccentric genius of Alok Ranjan, and the brilliant angularity of Buddhadev were all a part of Nabanita Dee's growing years. And yet, Nabanita Dee feels that writing was more like an inevitable curse that had descended upon her. As a child, it was the easiest thing to do. But gradually, it became more like war, for she was rarely satisfied. Every dot, every dash, every punctuation mattered to her. Poetry, she felt, provided her with a walking stick when both her knees had given way in mid-journey. There is poetry in her fiction. There is rhythm in her travelogues. And there is music in her numerous stories for children. As we read, we study. As we try to understand, we discover. If one critic was unhappy because she concentrated on her own domestic space in her fiction, another could see the whole world in her small family. Was not St. Mary's Mead a microcosm of the world for Agatha Christie's detective, the redoubtable Miss Marple? And is not Nabanita Dee a prime example of a literator exploring nearly every possible literary genre? Perhaps she is best known for her fiction, which examines various aspects of woman identity. She has also foregrounded issues relating to the elderly and to the girl child or to the single mother in a prose style that is at once comprehensible and multi-layered. Did we not find that Nabanita Dee made a searching study of a variety of psychological and socio-political problems relating to intellectuals in the underground movement of the late 60s?
ধর্ষণ রাত্রির স্মৃতি। পুরুষ। ওই দিন সন্ধ্যা রাতে কোকিলের স্বর। নারী। ওই দিন চন্দ্রহীন রাত্রে দ্বীপ্রহর। পুরুষ। শাল পিয়ালের বনে পরি নেমেছিল।
But we also found that poetry has always been her primary confidence. Has she cut down on poetry because she's more into prose? We wonder. Nabanita Dee's first book of poems, her MA degree, her travel westwards for higher studies, all happened quite quickly. Then marriage. Professor Amartya Sen was her husband, her admirer, her friend.
Nabanita was very much a pioneer in India on that aspect. If Perry and Lord were pioneering that in a world stage, its reflection on Sanskrit epics had not been studied at that time, and there had not been that much of it even today. Recently I had to look back at that in the context of one of my students doing something, and I was surprised that it had not really been followed very much. What she published I think, a couple of papers on Ramayana composition at that time.
নবনীতা তো আসলে বড়দের লেখকও বটেন। তার কলম যেমন বড়দের জন্য চমৎকার চলতো, বড়দের জন্য কত কবিতা লিখেছেন, কত উপন্যাস লিখেছেন, কত গল্প লিখেছেন, ঠিক তেমনি তিনি ছোটদের জন্যও কিন্তু কলম খুলে লিখতেন এবং সেসব লেখা ছোটদের মনকে যে কিভাবে নাড়া দিত সেটা আমি বুঝতে পারি।
Her daughters, Antara, Nandana, Srabusti, individuals, her admirers and her critics.
So, while there is this wonderful, joyous spirit in her writing, in her children's writing, in her poetry, in her narrative non-fiction, in her travel stories, Ma's work also is very strongly informed by political and social consciousness, which comes through in her poetry as well, and her journalistic writing in her novels. She has raised a great deal of awareness through her work for the empowerment of women.
I think Ma's most important quality is the enormous warmth that she radiates, and people instantly feel very close to her.
So we also started sharing so many things together, and I came from a completely different background, everything, and now, but for her, I became part of her family, and I really started thinking in a new way. Not that as I was telling you, she never taught me.
আপনারা জানেন তো উনি একটি সাহিত্যিক পরিবারেরই কন্যা। বাবা নরেন দেব মশাই তিনি খুব বড় মাপের সাহিত্যিক ছিলেন। মা রাধারানী দেবী, তারও তো লেখার কোনো তুলনা পাই না। যেমন রাধারানী দেবীর আমি আপনাকে বলছি, তিনি অপরাজিতা দেবী নামে যা লিখতেন, বুকের বীণা বলে একখানা বই লিখেছিলেন, অসাধারণ ভালো বই।
This is my father's book. This is called Saheb Bibi Deshe. My father, Narendra Dev, was a traveler. He loved to travel, and I have loved traveling from him. And this is the book which explains everything about my love of travel. When I was 12, I went with him all over Europe and saw all the beautiful things. This cover, by the way, is painted by me. I'm very proud of it. I was in school when I did it, and I'm very happy about it. All these books are about my different travels. Here is another book. It's called Trak Bahone McMahon. It is my trip to the McMahon lines on a truck. I hitchhiked to the McMahon lines in 1977 November on a Russian truck. I had gone for a lecture to Assam, to the Ashram Sahitya Sabha. It's a huge, big annual literary festival where I had gone to address them, and then from there I wanted to go to Tawang Ministry and just to see what it was like. It was not accessible in those days. It was a mysterious place, and you had to go past a place called Shangri-La.
Trak Bahone McMahon is an epic tale of determination, full of humor and history, imagery and actuality. A daring leap into the unknown, Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance.
This one is the English translation of a book I love. That was my first venturing out on my own, all by myself. This was going to the Kumbh Mela. My children were small, my mother was aging, and I was afraid of all three of them. And nevertheless, I went there in 1977 and January, and it was a fabulous trip. And this book tells you all about a single woman's pointless trip to the Kumbh Mela all by herself, trying to find out the reason behind why millions of Indians go there, what pulls them there, just to find out all about the country and its people and what divinity is like.
Some people in the world who are creative in a number of different ways. So, I mean, not many people know this, but you know, my mother used to do a lot of painting. She's an extremely talented painter. I'm trying to see if there's anything around this room. There isn't. But I have several of her paintings. She did a lot of sculpture. She was, as we discussed earlier, she loves to dance. She's somebody who has a kind of joyous creativity in her soul that is expressed in a number of different ways.
Yes, she has her doubts too. She is not scared by solitude. She grew up alone. Loneliness in old age too does not frighten her. She has only one fear. Poetry may abandon her. That would be a crippling blow, would it not?
আচ্ছা আমরা ভাবছিলাম যে একটা পুরস্কারের শহীদ সম্মানটা দেওয়ার নিয়ে আলোচনা আমরা আগে ঠিক করেছি, এটা মনে আছে নিশ্চয়ই যে আমরা ঠিক করেছিলাম শহীদ সম্মান দেওয়া হবে 1 লাখ টাকার পুরস্কার একটা সর্বভারতীয় একজন কোন লেখিকাকে দেওয়া হবে।
The idea between sharing is excellent. Yearly gathering with women writers is excellent. I have full support to all of this.
Does her work for SHOI, an organization that she founded as an active precedent, reaching out to women writers all over the world, seem not as important as this cold fear of possibly losing her beloved poetry forever?
Been a long time since I've been writing for children. I started writing for children when I had my own children first, to tell them stories, and that is how it began. And now it continues. Now I tell stories to my grandchild, and I have been writing stories for 50 years. I like to write fairy tales where little girls are the heroines, and this is not about fights, not about demons, but about relationships of mainly the stories are about self-confidence and getting out of difficult situations through intelligence. So the basic weapon that's used by my heroines is intelligence, and I think I have been a very fortunate writer because children like my stories.
She also takes up the task of retelling epic tales. Sita, in her short stories, is a person with an independent mind, critiquing the so-called epic women as victims of male bonding, born to suffer to serve the epic purpose.
উচ্চারণ ওই ওষ্ঠে ও আধারে দৃষ্টি মাখা এমন সন্ধ্যায় ও কি উচ্চারণ করো থাক থাক ও কথা কইও না ও সব পারি না শুনতে দুঃখ কষ্ট সকলেরই থাকে চিনি আলু কেরোসিন লোডশেডিং স্কুল মাস্টার এসবই বাস্তব কিন্তু আমি তার কি করি উপায়
With that pair of lips on such a rain-drenched evening, what is it that you utter? Let it be. Don't say those words. I won't hear them. Everyone has pains and troubles. Sugar, potatoes, kerosene, load shedding, school tutors. These are all real, but what can I do about them?
The emperor's new clothes. The maple lets its red gold regalia slip down and gather round its anchor. Unroped, it stands in a constant state of erection, feeling imperious until a robin arrives and flies away teasing. Then spring rushes in with the age-old clothes and covers up his ludicrous eyeless.
Nobonita,
Yes.
among the subjects dealt with at the festival was the coexistence and the conflict between poetry and politics. What is the intent of that question?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you write political poetry?
I think most of the stuff that anyone writes is in some way political.
Give us an example, please, from your work.
Well, the one that I'm going to read now, it's personal and political in the same time, because it's about, it's dedicated to young people who went into politics while they were in school. This was in the 70s. There was an uprising, a student uprising, which became very violent, and the students were thrown into jail. Lots of them were killed because they were killing. And they went to jail for 7 years, and after 7 years when they came out, they were beginning to go back to college again, trying to get adjusted to the world, to the society. And I found it was a terrible thing, because to be exposed to that kind of violence at that age is to lose a great deal.
So you captured this in a poem?
Yes. And
Can we hear some of it?
Yes, sure.
This is written in Bengali in the original, but we'll
yes.
listen to it in English, of course.
Okay.
In fact, you know what? Let's hear a little bit of the Bengali music, as it were, first.
Okay. Actually, I think I'll tell you something else. After I finished yesterday, 7 young boys and girls from America came up to me. They're from New Jersey, a school from New Jersey. And they're spending 3 months here. They came up to me and congratulated me and said they loved this poem because it spoke for them.
Let's hear.
The first few lines in Bangla. Aranyok. Ma, amar বনবাস সমাপ্ত এখন। মা তুমি শস্য গুম্ফ জটা ছিনে ফেলে চিনে নাও কৈশোরের মুখ। The jungle story. My exile is over, mother. No more living in the jungle for me. Come, mother. Underneath this matted beard, feel the familiar cheeks of your child.
Why this stunned silence, then? Lift up your chin. Don't shift your eyes. Speak to me. Here she is.
একা ঘরে একাকী টেবিলে কাচের উপরে ছায়া নিচু স্বরে প্রশ্ন করে, ভালো আছো নবনীতা? চায়ের কাপের ধোঁয়া আরো নিচু স্বরে চুপি চুপি উত্তর পাঠায়,